Hey Walkwatchers, and welcome back to another one of our videos. Today I am standing on the top of Slievenamaddy, up above Newcastle, which you can see down below me, because today I'm on my way up to there, Slieve Commedagh. Over there is Slieve Donard. I don't know if you can see it, there it is, Slieve Donard. But I'm heading up to Slieve Commedagh. Now I have done Slieve Commedagh quite a few times before, as you can see from all these videos up here. But I'm not heading up there to get to the summit tonight. What I'm doing is I'm getting up there so that I can camp. I have my wee Lanshan too with me. And when I get up there I'll make my tea and chill out for a bit. So stay with me for the journey. This is a different way for me to come up. I've never done it this way before. I usually go up through the gap just over there, up the Glen River, and then up onto the gap, and then I usually turn to the right and head up onto Slieve Commedagh rather than left up onto Slieve Donard. But today I'm coming up Slievenamaddy and then going to climb Shan Slieve, and then eventually on to Slieve Commedagh, where I will camp for the night. So it should be a bit of crack, should be a new adventure for me. I haven't been out since I was in Whistler, so I'm feeling it at the minute. That's a pretty tough wee pull coming up there, up Slievenamaddy, but it's a really great wee walk. I'm really being tested already. So I'm on Slievenamaddy. I'm on my way up Shan Slieve now, and then the next stop is Slieve Commedagh. Is 767 meters, and that's my aim today, but it's not the reason why I'm walking today, because I want to go out and have a wee bit of a wild camp. I'm a wee Lanshan too with me, a bar of Cadbury's caramel and a wee drop of whiskey, so what else do you need really? I'm heading up a different way today, because normally I'd go up the Glen River. So I've just been bitten by a clegg. Up to the Mourne wall, and then I would turn right and go up on to Slieve Commedagh that way. But today I'm trying something slightly different. I am coming from the Newcastle side again. I've parked down at Donard Car Park, but this time I've come up through the forest and I'm going round Slievenamaddy, and then up onto Shan Slieve and up onto the summit of Commedagh that way. So something slightly different. I've never done it that way before, so it's a wee bit of an adventure. When I get up there, I'll pitch the tent, make my tea, and chill out and relax, which is what I'm really looking for. I haven't been out walking since Canada, since I was in Whistler. Whistler was a wee bit different to this, although these big pine trees are kind of reminding me of it a wee bit. And Slievenamaddy's a bit rocky, a bit like the alpine section of Whistler. But anyway, that's where I'm heading today. I am heading up round Slievenamaddy and then up onto Shan Slieve and Slieve Commedagh to a wild camp. So stay with me for the journey. It should be a bit of crack, a bit of banter. Onwards and upwards. Now, I've really been looking forward to this route because, like you, I'm sure, as you walk up the Glen River, all those mountains along the right-hand side are so enticing because it acts as a ridge right the whole way up onto Slieve Commedagh, and I was really excited to get up there and have a go. So this was my day. Here it was, my moment, and I really enjoyed this walk. And just look at the weather that I got. It was absolutely glorious, just beautiful, warm and sunny. There's a slight breeze that you can hear, but nothing too bad yet. Now that's Slievenamaddy down there. This is Shan Slieve and looking out over Newcastle. And the other direction is Slieve Commedagh. And there is that big long ridge heading up onto Slieve Commedagh. Now from the other side, from Cove, or if you're walking along the Brandy Pad, Commedagh looks like a big round mountain, but it's only from this direction you get to see that big long tail, that big long ridge. Now down there in the valley, that's the Glen River. There's a little bit of the Donard Forest there, but we're looking down over the Potterpill Grave here, and then there are those big rocky outcrops at the top of Slieve Commedagh, and that is the ridge. Now coming up this way you get some beautiful views. There's Burna and Mealmore in the background, and here in the foreground Slieve Commedagh and Slievenamaddy. Here it is, the very familiar Slieve Commedagh. Absolutely gorgeous views out over Donard and Binion and Burna. Stunning. So I'm heading over to one of the shelter towers and I'll start putting up the tent. Well now, I was going to do a whole thing about how easy it was to put up the Lanshan 2 and how great it was and the size it was, and I will do that. But as you can hear, the wind has really got up. And so it wasn't quite so easy to put up the tent in the blustery wind, and I don't think it was that great an example. So what I thought would be better was to get shelter up, get in, get settled, which is what I've done now. I've got my sleeping bag and all out, and I've got my cook stuff ready to go, and so that I can get my tea, and then I'll eat. Because not only that, in that wind, the temperature has dropped. It was about 18 degrees as we were walking up, which was lovely. But now it's dropped down to about 12 degrees in that wind, and my fingers are starting to get cold. So I put on my jacket to start heating me up a wee bit. Yeah, it's going to be a fun evening. I thought it was going to be quite a calm evening, but obviously not. So it may have been windy, but the views are still spectacular. And what was even more wonderful was that the sky put on the most beautiful sunset show. because unfortunately I've had to come inside and sit inside. I stayed out for as long as I possibly could to get the sunset and talk to the two other guys. There's two other guys that are up here on the mountain tonight, two lovely guys. So I stayed out to have a chat with them, and it's pretty cold, so I've decided to come back in. And it's not necessarily the temperature, but definitely the wind chill. That wind is about 25 to 30 miles an hour, and it's making things very cold. It's very blustery, as you can hear. Again, I tend to say this a lot when I'm up the Mourne Mountains in a tent. It's very blustery, it's very windy, but it is. And as you saw, I positioned myself down behind the wall to try and get a wee bit of shelter. Earlier on, the wind was coming up that way, and it allowed me to get a wee bit more shelter. I think I'm still benefiting from that, but probably not as much. Hey, it is what it is. I mean, earlier on it was about 18 degrees and it was lovely and warm outside. It's dropped down to now about 10 degrees, and certainly in that wind chill I have no idea what it really is now outside. But hey, that's the way it goes. I'm wrapped up in the tent. The reason that I always the reason that I went for the Lanshan 2, and I always say it, it's for the extra space. It's to be able to give myself a wee bit of space to play with inside. I brought my rucksack in, and my boots and all are just out in the vestibule there in front of me. There are two vestibules on the Lanshan 2, which is great. There's one at the front, there's one behind me here at the back. So there's plenty of space in here for me to throw all my gear out, get all my camera stuff set out, recharge batteries and cook and whatever I need to do. The Lanshan 2 is really flexible like that. It's a bit flappy though, it's the only thing I would say. As you can probably hear, it's flapping around in the wind, but hey, if that's the only thing that I'm complaining about, it's not much. So anyway, I'm going to try and hunker down now, get some sleep. I've got my book with me, so I'm going to read. I have half of the dairy milk already gone. All the whiskey is gone, which is why I'm, really good at talking right now. And then I'll see you in the morning. So it was a pretty rough night, although I did sleep through most of it, which was great, because I do feel pretty refreshed this morning. It's now just after dawn and it's cloudy. The cloud has come right down. I think the base level is about 200 metres, so it's well below Commedagh. So I'm just taking it easy, got my coffee, having my breakfast, and then I'm going to head down the mountain back to the van. There's nothing else for it. It's just great being up here and chilling out and relaxing, but there's very little to see. So I'll just take my time, pack up, get down the mountain back to the van. Now this is probably a good time for me to talk about my wee tent. This is the 3 FUL gear Lanshan 2. I've been using it for well over a year and I just love it. It's only 1.2 kilos to carry. Now it will require your 2 walking poles to get it up, but that's not a big deal anyway. You're going to be carrying those anyway. It's 2 meters 20 in length and it's 1 meter 10 in breadth, and it's about 1.2 meters in height. Its inner and its outer are both nylon. It's a nylon mesh inner with a fly sheet of nylon as well. I always peg out the 4 corners of my bathtub first of all, and then I put the poles in, and then the guy lines and the 4 corners. And this is what it looks like when it's rolled up at the bottom of my pack, about 30 centimeters in total. An honourable mention needs to go to my old Berghaus 50, which is a 50-litre backpack. It's got that free flow 3 system on the back, which allows the air to flow around your back and stops you from sweating, you know. It's great. I love it. Well, that's me all packed up and ready to go. I've just come down off the top of Slieve Commedagh a wee bit just to get out of the wind so that I can talk to you. But I kind of hung around just to see if the cloud would clear, and it did a wee bit, and we got a beautiful view out over the bay just there in front of Newcastle, and it's absolutely gorgeous with the sun rising over. It's about 7:20 now. The two fellas are still waiting for some of the runners. They're supporting some of the mountain runners at the minute, so they're still waiting for a couple to come up and through. But I'm all packed up and ready to go back down. I'm going to walk down Slieve Commedagh now, back down to the col between it and Donard, and then just follow the Glen River back down to the van at the car park. A nice simple route home again after that lovely route up past or up onto Slievenamaddy and Shan Slieve and all yesterday. That was great. I really enjoyed that. So yeah, nothing else for it but just to get my boots into first gear and get down the hill. And then once back down into the col, it's just a matter of following the Glen River the whole way back down to Donard Forest and on through to Donard Car Park. But you can see where that cloud ends on the top of Slieve Commedagh. But this is me looking back up towards the col there, up the Glen River. And you can see right up onto Slieve Commedagh, the cloud has now cleared. Of course, sod's law, when I come off the mountain, it nights and clear again. But there's the Pot of Pelgrave, that gap in the mountain there, and there's that lovely long ridge down to Slievenamaddy. Thank you so much for clicking on the video today. Why not click on the subscribe button and click the bell to keep notified of all that's going on here at Walkwatchers. But if you enjoyed our walk today, then why not get your boots on? Go outside and go exploring, and I'll see you on the next one.